There are so many local television stations in America that it's relatively cheap to advertise on them. Most local businesses can afford to do it. Well, nobody has embraced this medium with such fervour or over-enthusiasm than the local car dealerships.
A factory said, "Do it again! The challenge is made, we accept!"
Anything goes. You get anywhere from the range of the dealer wanting complete control, wanting to be in the ad.
Hey guys, I'm ready to shoot the commercial. I'm Joe. Oh!
Wanting to write it.
Sorry about that. My camera crew's taking a break, so I'm going to try to do this myself.
Wanting to direct it, basically.
All new Isuzus have McCloskey's power financing, 0 down and 0% interest.
To the people that are basically that come in and say, hey, I'll take care of it.
How crazy have we gone? Totally!
Just because I'm a new one, is this all I can drive?
Not in Midtown. We have financing available for every credit situation.
Hi, I'm Tom Jones.
I think a lot of it has to do with ego. Some of them are just incredibly egotistical, and they really, really want everybody to see, hey, look how powerful I am.
We have 4x4s, 4x2s, pickups, dualies, diesels, sport utilities.
But a lot of it also is they want to get this personality built up with the client. They want to be personable with them, and they think if they're on camera, then that's going to create a rapport with them.
It's the No Turkey sale. And right now, we'll donate $50 for every new vehicle sold to the Jimenez Turkey Fund.
I think they think that in the minds of the consumer that they're after, if they do something crazy and insane, it's going to stick with the person. They're going to remember the ad.
Turkey sale.
And, you know, whereas when we're putting these together, we look at it and say, oh my gosh, I would never go to a place like that.
Attention, Oklahoma! Witness the automotive buying opportunity of a lifetime!
You know, they're thinking the mentality of the viewer is,
Start your sale!
oh wow, hey, look how funny that is. That's going to really stick with them, and they're going to want to come in.
But the thing is, Ethan, that they're not very funny, are they?
Most of the time, no.
Puts the Ford in affordable, baby.
That's right, Austin.
Ethan, I have a complaint. I actually auditioned for the part of Austin Powers in that ad, and I didn't get it. Why not?
You're too good. It's you need a little southern twang in your English accent.
The savings are big and they're happening now.
Drive it home, baby.
I'll behave.
2,000 Ultimas, $199 a month. A 2,000 Maxima or Crew Cab, $249 a month. Just pick one.
As an editor, I have to sit back and let the client is in charge.
Milk this cow.
We do a lot of stuff for this client we have in Dallas, and he was actually talking to my boss and said that idea just came to him. Milk this cow as a catchphrase. It doesn't mean anything. It's never been really used before. It was just they're trying to get an attention grabber, and so milk this cow.
Milk this cow. $149 a month for a brand new Frontier King Cab.
So I have to keep my mouth shut on that and basically turn their idea into the best thing that I think we can do with it.
Bring in your trade. We'll pay it off, even if it's a lease. Don't wait, Oklahoma. This event ends Saturday.
I mean, quite often on a daily basis. I mean, most of them are explosions, and then, like you said, people on camera that just don't belong there.
Hold on now.
We try very hard to make the bad idea that comes in as good as possible.
Every new Nissan truck, $2,000 below dealer invoice.
I think they think volume and audio is actually going to create volume of business.
Do not miss this sale. Do not miss this sale. Do not miss this sale.
Yes, I don't know.
Well, it could be that the days of the shouting car ad are numbered, because voice talent Heather Martinez is in this studio working on an ad for Honda in which she's been asked to be very quiet. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
This is a bit of a departure, isn't it? Normally they're asking you to shout all the time.
That's true. I've had some pretty hard sell ads in the past few months, and just got a script over the fax today that pretty much is asking me to almost make fun of the hard sell. So what we're doing, the approach is, I'm not going to scream. I've 86 the explosions, and just giving a real personal delivery, one-on-one.
Do you think it might mean that the hard sell approach, they're moving away from it? Certainly this client seems to be.
I think so. In some of the smaller markets, I think the hard sell does work for them, but some of the dealers, I think, have been dissatisfied with people even complaining that, gosh, stop yelling. So I think they're open to the new approach. And I, as a woman and a car owner, I certainly think that a softer sell is a lot more approachable, friendly. I think it depends on the car dealer. I do a lot of Honda, I do a lot of Acura, Volkswagen commercials all over the country, some Cadillac, Infiniti dealers. What's funny though is that Infiniti, Cadillac have always been soft sell because they're a classier car, but my delivery will be a lot lower, very classy, whereas Volkswagen is more, hey, I bought a new Volkswagen and it rocks, you know, whereas Honda is more, you know, I'm a Honda dealer, I'm a hip chick and I love my car. So,
Wow.
you know, it's just being very versatile.
And talking of being versatile, Heather, you were the Liz Hurley character in the Austin Powers ad, so just finish off with us. Give us your Liz Hurley, your English accent. Go on, just say a few.
Groovy baby. Come on, Austin. I don't remember what I said in the ad, but, you know, something like that.
We every now and then do Spanish ads, and the guy that does the translations for us usually types everything out for us. But in this time, he typed it out in all capital letters, which in Spanish, all caps is different than upper lowercase, and the fact that you don't need all the grammatical marks in it. And año, A-N with a tilde over it, O, means year in Spanish, and anno without the tilde over the end means a bit different.
It actually means backside, doesn't it?
Yes, well, to a point, yes.
So when you put this ad out, what did it actually said what?
I can't remember. It basically said the biggest year-end clearance, I think. So it was the biggest backside clearance.
But of course, here in the United States, they do everything bigger and better. Why have a row of dealerships when you can have an entire motor city spreading up the hillside? Just about every car manufacturer is represented here. And one of the interesting things about Motor City is a lot of the different dealerships are owned by the same man. This is Phil Long, and everywhere you go in Motor City, you see his name because he has virtually the monopoly of most car brands here. But is this a healthy situation for either the consumer or the car companies who offer the franchises out? I met up with Phil Long's frontman, Jay Cimino.
Phil started in 1945. We're about 55 years old. And he moved here in 64, 65. I got here 10 years later in 75. And at that time, we only had Ford. As a matter of fact, Phil didn't want, wasn't really particularly interested in anything else. He was born Ford. He had the oval. His blood was blue. Lucky for me, he kind of let me do things my way. And I saw a need for growing. And in those days, Ford Motor Company, you couldn't, you just couldn't buy more dealerships. So if you're going to grow, you had to grow with other dealerships. And so the very first one I got was Mitsubishi. Now that really upset Phil at the time. I mean, not really upset. He wasn't angry, but he was a World War II pilot, naval pilot, and he got shot down by a Mitsubishi. So I didn't realize at the time I was talking to Mitsubishi. Phil, when I got here in 1975, he kind of stayed at home. So we took on Mitsubishi and later on Suzuki, and then we got picked up Nissan here in Motor City, and then Audi and Mercedes. And we did that. The three franchises we picked up were picked up during our serious recession in Colorado Springs, where you just weren't selling cars, and that's when you pick things. That's when you're able to buy things. So we bought Nissan and Mercedes and Audi. Audi at the time, you'll recall, Audi had that not scandal, but they had that serious black cloud over them, where if you started the engine, the car ran forward, and they had 2020, and some of the networks really did go against them. It really almost crippled Audi in this country entirely. So we got Audi from the ravages of that.
What do the car manufacturers think then of your sort of dealership, where they know that, okay, you're selling their cars, but you're also peddling the competition as well? Do they...
They're not happy. Ford Motor Company has never been happy with us over that. Motor City's been here since about 1962. A fellow by the name of Bill Smart, it was his brainchild to put all the car dealerships together, much like shopping malls, and this was back in the 60s, so it was pretty revolutionary kind of thinking in those days. All the dealers were downtown, and Bill Smart was sitting here with all this land here and one Buick dealer. Well, that doesn't get it. So he persuaded Phil Long to buy this piece of ground here, bring his Ford dealership over, and essentially traded the ground downtown. So he basically moved in here pretty cost-free. When that happened, then Motor City developed. And back in those days in the 60s, you really never built an auto mall, well as Chevy or Ford, preferably both. So once Bill got his Ford store, the Ford dealership to come here, then it developed.
Is it unusual? I mean, at the time, was it unusual to have everybody in one motor?
Oh, it was. This, to my knowledge, this was the very first auto mall in the entire country, to my knowledge. So yes, it was really unusual. But yeah, at the same time, Bill Smart, kind of guy, was a visionary, who thought that if you could do it in shopping malls, why can't you do it in car malls?
Jay's not just the boss of Colorado Springs Motor City, he also has premium unleaded coursing through his veins with a fantastic private car collection. I persuaded him to show me a couple of rare beauties.
This is one of my favorites. It's a 57 Chevy Bel Air, two-door hardtop. It's an original car. Car was sold new in Denver, and the people that owned it for many years, and it was garaged. And then I'm the third owner. The second owner actually showed the car, and she was one of those people that was a perfectionist, only to the extent that since the car had never been painted, even if it had a scratch on it, she didn't want the scratch removed. I bought it from her. Reluctantly she sold it to me. She was moving out of town. I had to promise her lifetime driving rights for the car.
Uh-oh.
Or otherwise she wasn't going to sell me the car.
Uh-oh.
So when I bought the car, I repainted it back to its original, and essentially, you know, we pulled the engine transmission out of it because nothing had ever been done to the car, but essentially the car is original as you see it.
It's amazing. So none of these have been replaced. All the weak parts in Britain,
all the interiors, all original.
Yeah.
The car's got power steering, power brakes, and factory air, which was really a rarity.
Factory air back in 1950.
See the vents here?
Oh yeah, they're beautiful vents.
Yeah.
Wow, I love this detail in here. In fact, I'm not exactly sure what this is.
Well, what that's for is if you're up against a light, a signal light, you can look at that and it gives you a reflection of whether it's red, yellow, or green.
Ah, because they're strung up above the street.
And that was one of the factory options back in those days.
And that's an original feature?
Original feature. Original optional feature.
Right, fantastic. And the fairy dice, Jay?
Pardon me?
The fairy dice here?
The dice is something that I added to the car.
Not sure about the fairy dice. Now, the point about having these beautiful cars is that you do use them. When do you drive this?
I will tell you one thing. I was in about a month ago, I was in a Mach 1 with a big 429 engine. I was driving it, and my son was driving this car behind me. I was going on the interstate, and I didn't realize he was behind me. I was traveling at about 100 miles an hour on this Mach 429, and he caught me with this car.
Is that right? Good grief.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have thought.
So, back in those days, Chevy called it the hot one. And they're running cars.
Well, this has got to be one of the most interesting American car dealerships I've ever been in, and there's a clue as to why on the windshield here. Yep, the pound sign tells you that we're not in America at all. This is Manchester. In fact, it's the biggest UK importer of American cars. Here we have the GMC Yukon SUV, and here a rather splendid example of the Mercury Grand Marquis. And standing next to it, the perfect example of the owner, Laurence Millet. Laurence, American cars in Manchester, the two don't seem to go quite together, with crowded streets, a bit of rain perhaps. How much interest is there?
Well, there is large niche market interest. I've been selling American cars for 20 years and the General Motors importer for 15 years. American car scene is, many people travel to the States. I mean, 40,000 people a day are flying to America. And they see these cars over there and they often rent them, drive them, borrow them. And very often they think they don't understand the price of the car, the value, so much equipment, air conditioning, the cruise controls. They're not as thirsty as you might think today. I mean, American cars, the industry itself is under a lot of pressure now, and has been for quite a few years, to conform to fuel economy regulations, as I'm sure you know. For sort of £18,000 to £20,000, for example, I could sell someone a car that's very interesting, unusual. You won't see another one around the corner. Whereas in the UK, what would be available to him? Mondeos, Vectras.
You're standing next to the stonkingly huge Chevy Suburban. How on earth do you park that on the streets of Manchester?
Well, you have picked the extreme here, Howard. It is nearly a foot longer than a Bentley, but that's quite manageable. But let me show you inside and you'll...
Because you said that there's a lot of bang for your buck in the way that things are kitted out in here. So, under £16,000, lot of metal for your money. And what is it about the interiors that you like about them?
The equipment level and convenience. This particular car, it's probably a Range Rover competitor, I suppose, or the American equivalent, although it has got 3 rows of seats, 9-seater. A lot of luggage space as well, even behind that. It's very well equipped, automatic, CD, tape deck, stereo, climate control air conditioning, and again an essential to them, which is a very good feature, it has rear air conditioning and the controls are up here for the rear air conditioning unit, and of course it can be controlled by the passengers in the rear. The only thing this vehicle has are oil changes. Other than that, it runs for 100,000 miles. The plugs will stay in it, the fan belt stays on it. No maintenance. That's a very important issue for this client.
Now, this is absolutely stunning. A year 2000 Chrysler Prowler, which we saw unveiled at the Detroit Motor Show a couple of years ago. And what I like about this, Laurence, is that it went from concept to street car and nobody messed about with it. It's just fabulous, isn't it?
No, it's absolutely spectacular. It's a retro version of the original American hot rod. And as you say, just went from concept to street. In today's climate, it's amazing they can get away with this kind of styling, minimalist on bumpers, wheels, mudguards, very dramatic, beautiful, spectacular.
And what sort of person buys this in Britain?
Showbiz, someone like yourself, personality, lottery winner, footballers, for the gentleman with everything.
It is definitely showbiz. And what does this sell for here?
£48,000.
It's the pickup, of course, the great workhorse of the West. Now, what surprises me, Laurence, about this is that why on earth, in this climate, in this country, would anyone want a flat bed? I mean, if you put your luggage in there, it's going to get bounced around, it's certainly going to get wet. Works in the Great West, of course, with all that sunshine and people putting all their work stuff in there, but not here, surely.
It is sophisticated, it is very smooth, it looks terrific. This is a step-side body. It carries 5 or 6 people.
What is the reason people buy this? Is it that testosterone thing? It's the great all-male American thing to have?
There must be a little bit of that. But we do sell a surprisingly large number. Also, important to bear in mind, this is a great towing machine. It will pull a lot of weight. It's very strong, very long-lasting. Bench rear seat, 3-seater. It can be rear seat in the front. This particular one has got the sport seat option with electric heated seats. So it's got power seats, memory, heated seats. Try it. They're like club armchairs.
And this is something that's really changed with pickups over the years. That they're not just utility vehicles now. They've become as sophisticated interiors as the SUVs.
Yes.
It's really nice. Smells great as well. And then finally the large engine block and a lot of sophisticated technology in there too, isn't it?
Yes, this particular one has got a 5.3 litre all aluminium V8, putting out around 285 horsepower. Servicing requirements 100,000 miles again, virtually service free.
And all computerised. It'll do things like alter the tuning for altitude and things like that.
Yes, not only will it do altitude, it's sensitive to driver input. It senses what the driver likes to do, change up, change down points, towing, and many other features. It also has a very complex get you home facility as well. If it has faults in the engine, it will try to work around them. It'll switch to different cylinders.
Well, I think they're all terrific vehicles, but then I would say that because I own a couple of them back in the States. But it does seem to me that the biggest pitfall, surely, of owning an American car here is the obvious one. The steering wheel is on the wrong side. How big of a problem is that for people?
It is an issue for some people. What we do is let people try the car. Invariably, if they drive one, they still buy it.
Well, Laurence, thank you very much for showing me around. I shall now go back to the other side of the pond, where the steering wheel, strangely enough, is on the right side of the vehicle. This is the Image, a concept car from Cadillac. Now, you don't get a more American-sounding car than the Cadillac, do you? Yet the director of Cadillac Concept Vehicle Design is Simon Cox, a Brit based in Birmingham.
Basically, the brief for the vehicle was to produce a product that doesn't exist at the moment in the Cadillac portfolio, but was to create a new vehicle, a luxury sports sedan, which will compete with the luxury brands not only in Europe but also obviously in the home base, which is America. To be honest, I don't think there is a lot of difference in really what the American and European people are looking for in luxury brands. I mean, obviously you're after luxury, you're after sophistication, technology, performance, and what we've tried to do at Cadillac is use our heritage but recreate a new style, a new look for the vehicle, which basically encompasses the technology, the craftsmanship, the design, all the technical detailing that you'd expect in a luxury car. Basically, Cadillac, obviously a very American product, looks outside of America, and I'm just a person that has helped to input into the company some of the outside influences, some of the craftsmanship that we associate in European products.